Guys, welcome back to the channel. Carl here from North Coast Constrictors. Right, so this is an assist feeding video. Please excuse the lighting. I'm pretty sure it's quite bad. We'll try and make it a little bit better. I'm not sure how much better I can make it. Okay, so I got a pod. Got a pod hatchling here. Starting to get those folds around the bottom. Now, I've got tweezers in my hand, and I'm going to show you a trick that works sometimes, 90% of the time. There's assist feeding and then there's force feeding. Okay, right. So the first things first, you got to get yourself a frozen thawed but defrosted little rat fuzzy. Okay, around about the same thickness as the snake's body. Okay, so you take the pod. I'm gonna move this down like this so that you guys can see. All right, so what we do here, and there's a couple of ways where we're gonna try first, and then you grab the snake gently, but you don't block the airway. Okay, all right. And then what you got to do is you've got to kind of maneuver, which is always a little bit tricky once the snake starts to, and you got to try and keep this part, the neck straight of the snake. Okay, you got to get the mouth of the mouse inside, and this is where the snake likes to wrap its tail around. And what you do, you just push down gently, and then you give it a little bit of a pull so that the teeth go in, and then you hold it upside down. Okay, right. Okay, that's number one. Usually they hold it and they don't let go. Okay, in this instance, it let go. Okay, so repeat process. Okay, the snake has got to eat. Its siblings are twice the size, and it's just one of those things that you got to do. Just going to have to, and this is where the tweezers will start coming into effect. Okay, so you got to get it a little bit further down into the snake's mouth. Okay, close the mouth. That's when I grab my good old trusty tweezers here, and then I start pushing it down. And how I do it is I know this is gross, guys, so disclaimer, okay? I don't want, if you are a bunny hugger and stuff like that, and you don't like to see snakes getting fed or mice getting fed to snakes, then this video is not for you. However, this is nature, okay? So what I want to do here now is I want to get this mouse at least shoulder. You can't really see because my hand's in the way and it's bending its neck. Kind of a little bit further down into the snake's mouth. This is attempt number 2 now, okay? Hold the head of the snake down a little bit of pressure so its teeth stick in, and we'll try again. Okay, now it's in a little bit deeper, okay? It's in a little bit deeper. Now what I do is I put it back in the tub and I close the tub. Okay? That's an assist feed. Going to leave it like that for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to come back to it and see if it's eaten it. If it's spat it out, I'm not going to open the tub for about 5 minutes. If it's spat it out, then I'm going to force feed it, okay? Because now it's going on over 2 months. All right, so the snake's got to eat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed a couple of my other hatchlings here, give that a chance. I'm not going to record the feeding of the other hatchlings. It's not cool. I don't like doing feeding videos, but assist feeding for problem snakes is a video that's educational. Pair of tweezers like this, nice and handy, nice and thin at the end, And then what you do is you just, like what I couldn't really show there, is you work like from side to side, side to side, side to side. And you just get it down far enough so that it's like kind of maybe like the nose of the mouse is like just past the throat of the snake. And then you just apply a little bit of pressure on the snake's head so the teeth can sink into the mouse's flesh. And then you pull the mouse back a little bit so it's kind of wedged in there. So the snake can't spit it out. And then you hang it upside down, put it back in the tub. Hopefully the snake will consume that mouse. We'll come back and check in a couple of minutes. If it hasn't, I'm going to show you a force feed. I hope I don't have to do that. Okay, so without disturbing too much, it was a success. Don't normally like to handle snakes after I've fed them, but she took the meal and goes back in without having to force feed anything. So that's great. All I'll do is just get some fresh water, and we have one more snake to assist feed. Others are smashing food like it's going crazy, which is great. So just hang tight while I pull out. This is one of my most valuable snakes. It's a super pastel spot nose bamboo desert ghost, 50% head hyper male. Still hasn't taken his first meal, so this is the first time I'm assist feeding it. Let's hope it goes well. Okay, so my ugly face is down here, but what we can see in my hand is a super beautiful, super pastel spot nose desert ghost, 100% head hypo hatchling. Has not taken a meal yet, and we're gonna attempt the same procedure. This one's quite a fussy one, all over the place. Not easy to get these hatchlings to cooperate and do everything you got to do without choking the snake, you know, and getting bitten at the same time, because trust me, those little teeth are sharp. All right, and we also got to watch out for that tail. So it's a little fuzzy mouse. Just once their feeding instinct is kicked in, then they usually start to eat. It just takes about one meal. Okay, just get their head in there. Right now she's bitten down on it. He's bitten down rather. Give it a bit of a pull. Okay. What the nice thing here is that it's constricting in my hands. You can see that it's constricting the mouse in my hand. So that is great. That is a great sign there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm gently going to place the snake back in its tub and put it back inside there. And I see no reason whatsoever why that hatchling will not take that on its own. That duck, as I put its head in its mouth, it bit down and it coiled, which is great. That is a great sign. That's what you want. That's what you want. So let's hope that's successful feeding number 2. All right, guys. I hope you guys are learning something here, because it's not all about force feeding. A lot of guys frown upon it. You know, these snakes were born like 2 months ago, you know, so you kind of like 6 weeks is usually as far as I like to push it. 2 months is like deadline, okay? But you also monitor the condition of the snake. You got like a telltale sign that it's time to eat, time to step in and intervene. You must understand, everyone goes, oh, it's nature, it's not nature's way. This isn't nature, guys. This is captive breeding. We've taken them out of nature and we've put them in artificial housing, enclosures. This is not nature. This is commercial, hobbyist breeding, okay? We want nature's instinct to take over and for it to take the rodent and eat it, okay? If that snake, that hatchling didn't do this in the wild, it would die, okay? But that's in the wild where there are millions of these snakes. I've got a couple of hundred, and they are super high genetics. And we want to save them because we want to breed them and we want to sell them and we want to make money out of them. So because we are putting them in an artificial environment, and if they don't eat, then I artificially feed them by assist feeding them. And if that doesn't work, then I will force feed it. Okay, and I make no apologies to anybody about that. Okay, I have made an investment in these snakes. I have spent a lot of money and I have spent a lot of time, in this industry, which is incredibly difficult right now. Okay, so if I've got a really high-end desert ghost there and it's not eating, you bet your bottom dollar I'm gonna make sure it eats. Okay, and I am not going to apologize. And that means if I have to force feed it and literally push the rat or the rodent, whatever it is, little mouse, down into its belly and keep it down there for the first 2 meals, that's what I'm going to do. Because I've done that before, all my snakes have survived, and then they usually go on to themselves. They just got to get that. It's almost like a delayed instinct, natural instinct that you just got to encourage. That was fantastic. As I put their head in, boom, its instinct kicked in, and straight away it wrapped up in my hand. And that hardly ever happens. I think that's the second time it's ever happened. Boom, straight in, bet you he's devouring that. Okay, so guys, please don't confuse and go, that's not nature's way. This is not nature, this is captive breeding. So we adjust accordingly. Okay, guys, I think that's about it for, let's give it 5 minutes. I'm going to carry on feeding the rest of my hatchlings and let's see how that one gets on. Hopefully, no doubt, it would have consumed that little mouse. Okay, so we're back and I'll just show you quickly. I don't want to pull the snake out, but successfully eaten its first meal without having to force feed. So that's an absolute bonus. And on that note, guys, I'm signing out. Time for me to go and have my dinner. Cheers, see you on the next video.